All right, so today we're going to work on the wall part. So for the wall part, we are going to use raw sienna or yellow ochre, whatever you have, ultramarine violet, burnt umber, and titanium buff. And eventually we will add a highlights or a little bit of sap green in there, some green. But for now, we'll just work on no greens, just these four colors. So I'm going to start with the yellow ochre or raw sienna. I have raw sienna here. And I'm just going to put a layer. Raw sienna. For the wall. Now it seems that the bottom of the wall, there is some kind of a, I'm going to bring this down. This is too high. Let's bring it down a bit. Some kind, it seems that there is some kind of a, what is it called? A lip or not lip? It's kind of stone, piece of stone that sits on top, right there at the bottom. So for that, I'm going to take a little bit of burnt umber, add it to this color of raw sienna and go darker, a little bit darker with ultramarine violet mixed with raw sienna. And push everything back inside. This is the side of the wall. So even if we use raw sienna, touch of brown, I'm going to do this and then I will pause the recording so this way you can catch up. And so we're trying to make the yellow darker without with some burnt umber and ultramarine violet. Here we go. This is very good base for what we're going to be doing on top. Just let it dry and then we'll come back to it. I'm going to pause. Okay, so now what we're going to do is add a couple of brush strokes to give that weathered look on this wall. We'll start with burnt umber, and I'm going to take burnt umber, just burnt umber, add some water so it's not too thick, and wipe your brush a bit, and then just kind of skim the color over with your brush and move your brush around. Don't kind of keep it in the same place. Slowly. Okay. Now that is kind of fine enough. What I'm going to do now is take a bit of the raw sienna, and with the raw sienna, just go in. Actually, you know what? It's not needs a bit, just a bit of to tone it down a bit. I'm putting in the raw sienna a little bit of ultramarine violet. Put it here because I have to think about this wall. So I don't want this, the one that's in, to be too strong. Otherwise, the one in the front, it would be the same value as the one in the front, and it shouldn't. And it's the same technique, same idea. Okay, let's take a little bit of burnt umber again. Work on this part, make it darker. I'm gonna mix, because this burnt umber by itself is not enough. I'm mixing a little bit of ultramarine violet to darken it. Yeah, that's good. And let's put some here too. Yeah, that looks good. So I went a little bit darker by adding ultramarine violet to the burnt umber and not making it too glazed. Like I didn't put a lot of water. I kept it heavy. Okay, let's take this one here. That should be in, and it should be dark. Really dark. Okay, that's good. Let's put some here, right there. I left a little bit of a line in there. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, good. Now, for some reason, I am seeing a bit of red in there in the wall. So I am going to add to the raw sienna a bit of burnt sienna. Give it that warm color. Reddish kind of warm. Okay, let's take that. Yes, that is the color of the wall for sure. It's good. Okay, so let's build it up slowly with burnt sienna. Good. That's a good color. Let's take a bit of burnt umber. It's dark burnt umber. A couple of brush strokes right there, the bottom of the wall. And actually, at the bottom of the wall, where this little kind of stone edge is, it's really kind of dark on top, right there. Oops, sorry, there, right here. And with a round brush, let's see, I'm going to do the same. Take dark Ultramarine Violet, burnt umber, and add a line right there. Okay. Now it doesn't have to be exactly the same because these details are not important. They're not the focal point. Now I'm going to go back and pick up some of this burnt umber and burnt sienna. And add that in here to give it that reddish look. Kind of a yellow-red earth tone right here. Okay. Now I'm adding, do you want me to stop? Probably. You know
just take the the painting.
Yeah, I will pause and then we'll come back. All right, so now let's work on the wall, highlighting the wall. I'm going to take titanium buff, mix it with the same colors, burnt umber, burnt sienna, titanium buff, and let's see. A little bit more titanium buff. Let's see if I can see it, then I'm good. More. I'm being very careful with titanium buff. Okay, let's see now. Okay, that's good. It will dry darker. I'm going now to add a bit of dry brush, very soft, gentle highlights maybe with the corner of my brush. And I will go over when it's dry with when this is dry, what I'm doing right now, I'll go over it with I'll glaze it with some burnt sienna and burnt umber again. So if I glaze, then I can still see the texture underneath, but instead of having a texture that is flat, I can see a bit of movement in there. Now with the corner of my brush, I'm going to dab as well. Same. I'm going to dab with the corner of the brush, dab the titanium buff, burnt sienna, burnt umber, dab it on. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to take burnt sienna. Yep, with a touch of burnt umber, not much. I still want to see the burnt sienna more than the burnt umber. And again, with the corner of my brush, I'm going to dab. Change a bit from a strong burnt sienna into, I added a little bit of burnt umber. Stick again as well some of the yellow, because we don't want to use the yellow completely, because we're adding texture. So it's a back and forth between yellow, raw sienna, and burnt sienna, and a bit of sometimes adding, of course, a bit of burnt umber as well with the corner of my brush. But all of these colors I'm adding are mostly glazes. They're not heavy. Okay, that's good enough. You don't need much. If I find that I did a lot, like too much, I'll just go back and add raw sienna in there with a touch of titanium buff, so I don't lose the highlights. So it's like building layers. That's what I'm doing. I'm building layers and layers of color and texture. All right, that's good. Now I'm going to highlight this part. I'll highlight it a bit with same titanium buff, burnt umber, a little bit of ultramarine violet, because I don't want the titanium buff to be too strong. Yeah, that's good. That's more than enough. More like a glaze. and it just gives me a little bit of a highlight, but it's not strong. Okay. Last thing I'm going to do for this wall, on this wall actually, is adding some Sap Green. Very small amount of Sap Green. Stick that, put it in, not by itself. I'm mixing it with some burnt umber and titanium buff. Just need a hint. Okay, that's good. Let's put this in here. And that's fine. That's enough. We don't need more than that. Now, if we want, later on, we can add some foliage in here, like leaves, what you see over there, which is, they're actually very nice. I like them. Would you like to add that, or shall we keep it to the end?
I'd like to add it.
You like to add it? You can add it right now because we have the colors.
Sure.
Okay. Let's do that. I'm going to change my brush. I'm going to take a smaller one. And what I'm going to do, actually, I'll wait a bit so you can catch up first, and then we'll do the foliage together. I'm going to pause. Okay. So we're going to take a round brush and Sap Green. We'll put some burnt umber and some Sap Green. And we're going to layer a couple of leaves on top of each other for now, the dark color. And then we will highlight them. Sometimes I would do kind of shape it a little bit more, or shape it in a way that it's on the sideways. Okay, let's just first try to put these, and then we will figure out. I'm going to take one like that, line, then I'm going to put a couple here, 1, 2, 3, maybe a third one here. I'll fix them when I start highlighting. Let's take a bottom part. Oops. You know what? I'm going to add a bit of burnt sienna as well to the Sap Green for now, so I can change a bit the color. get some reds in here. So the only thing we have to make sure that we don't have, see, like I have a line right there. See how this is a straight line? So we want to make sure that we don't have that straight line. So camouflage it a bit with different ways of bring out the leaves. Even if it's going to touch the corner of the wall, that's okay. Now I'm going to take Sap Green. Let's put some burnt sienna in it. And a bit of the titanium buff to highlight it. Let's see here. So when you put burnt sienna in sap green, you will get a olive color because burnt sienna has red in it. You'll get kind of an olive green, and which is good. We want that. We're going to now add, we're not going to do a lot like over there, but we will do a couple. We will put a couple of highlighted ones. So now this one here has titanium buff and sap green and a touch of burnt sienna. You can, when you look at the reference, you can see that these leaves are not highlighted. They're there, but they're not highlighted. I'm going to take just sap green as well. Take titanium buff, just sap green and titanium buff, and add a couple here that are highlighted green, like so. We don't want much, just a couple of highlighted ones. Okay. This is burnt sienna. You take a little bit of other way around. I'm going to take burnt sienna now with touch of burnt sap green in there, not burnt umber, sap green. So there's more burnt sienna. Let's take a bit of yellow. The yellow we have, and titanium buff. So I want something that's more kind of reddish. All right, that's enough. 2, 2 leaves right there are enough. Let's highlight the ones at the bottom. Okay. Okay. It's good. We don't have to spend too much time on these. They're good. It's good enough. Let's put a couple down at the bottom. It will soften the wall a bit. Okay. I'm just going to keep it like that. I'm going to pause. All right, so we're done for this week. We will continue next week. We did quite a bit this week. All right.